Hi everybody, welcome back to Steve's Garage. In this video, I'll be assembling and reviewing this Kobalt cabinet that I'm sitting on. If you've been watching the Garage series videos, you know that this is the next installment of those. If you haven't seen them, feel free to check them out here. But for now, let's get to building this cabinet. There's no real mystery when unpacking this. The instructions are right on top. They come with a little sheet of stickers in there, so that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, you can't unpack this and assemble it at the same time. It's kind of like IKEA, where everything is packed to be the smallest box possible, so you have to take everything out of this package to assemble the cabinet. You do start by assembling the two largest panels, the two back panels, and then from there you go to the two side panels. So make sure you have those handy and in a spot where you can build the whole cabinet. Everything else, just toss to the side and find it when you need it. A, B, C, and D are the two back and two side panels. One back panel and both side panels have pre-installed screws, while the other one is just eyelets, and that's how they all fit together. Starting with your two back panels A and B, push them together and then offset them slightly so that the screws lock into the eyelets. The side panel is attached the same way, and while it's kind of hard to do it wrong, what you want to make sure is that you have the slides on the bottom and the inside. So D attaches to B, and then C attaches to A. On my cabinet, some of the screws were installed a little too tight. It's not a big deal because you have to tighten these down anyway, but you can just take a Phillips head screwdriver, loosen them up, assemble the cabinet, and then when everything's ready, we can tighten them back down. I used my cordless screwdriver to tighten all the screws down. You definitely don't need one. A hand screwdriver is fine. This is just a little faster. If you're going to do it this way, make sure that you have it on the lowest torque setting, because if you have it too high, you're going to bend and deform the cabinet. Next up are panels E and F, which are the top and the bottom. F is actually the top and it has the Kobalt logo on it. E is the bottom and it's completely blank. These little tabs here on the back and the side are where the panels slide into the bottom. And then you can see on the corner, this interfaces with the front corner of the panels, and then this is how you screw and physically attach the bottom to the sides. There are small tabs on the back panel that the top and bottom panel have to slide past in order to lock into place. The instructions do recommend using a rubber mallet, which I have. I definitely think you need one because it does require a little bit of force to get these past the tabs. If you don't have a rubber mallet, I wouldn't go out and buy one, but if you're going to use a hammer, make sure to use a scrap block of wood so you don't damage the cabinet during assembly. The top goes on the exact same way as the bottom does, and once you're finished with that, we can grab the screws and secure these to the side panels. Inside that larger singular box, there are two smaller cardboard boxes. One has a drawer in it, the other has the center support beam, hardware, and feet. This bag has the feet and wall strap in it, and then this blister pack has all the hardware you need to assemble the cabinet. There's not much variation here, and everything is called out in the instruction manual, so it's pretty hard to make any mistakes. We're going to be using the AA screws, which are the most common ones on here. Grab 12 of them, 6 for the top, 6 for the bottom. The same Phillips head screwdriver you used earlier will work on these screws, and you can get to securing the cabinet. I did find that some of the holes weren't perfectly aligned, but it's not a huge deal. They're machine screws, it's thin sheet metal, they will go in. If you're doing this by hand, it might take a little extra elbow grease, but you'll get them in. Next, you can install the feet. They just thread right in. There are adjustments to make the cabinet level, but we're not going to worry about that right now because it's on its back and it's not in its final location. The center support is held down with 8 AA screws. There's only one place for this to go on the cabinet, so you're not going to mess that up, but there is a top and a bottom. The bottom, which is what you're looking at, has nothing. The top has little pads and magnets for the upper doors. At this point, you can stand the cabinet up because we're going to install the drawers, doors, and shelves. The other box that didn't contain the hardware and center support has the inner smaller drawer. It comes fully assembled and you should be able to slide it right onto those upper drawer slides. Unless of course you got a defective cabinet like mine, which is why I assume it was on clearance. I will never know. But I quickly found out that the drawer slides on the right were not the same height as the drawer slides on the left. My head immediately went to drilling out the rivets on the slides to see if I could relocate them and get the drawer to fit right. Then I remembered that Kobalt has a lifetime warranty, so I should probably just call customer service and see what they could do for me. I made a short about my experience with customer service. You can watch that here if you'd like. I did end up getting a new side panel, free of charge, sent to me within a couple days. I did disassemble the cabinet to swap the panels out, but it was worth it because I want drawers that work and I didn't have to modify anything myself. For the remainder of the assembly, we're going to pretend like I meant to film it this way and I didn't format the SD card before transferring all the videos to my laptop and lost it all. Let's assemble the drawer. This drawer comes in 3 separate pieces: the front, the bottom and sides, and then the back panel here. This bottom and side piece actually ships flat, and what you're going to do is bend it up along the perforations on either side. Then you're going to take 10 screws for the back panel, 10 screws for the front panel, and attach it all together. see all the screws here, and it looks the same on the back. When you're ready to install the drawers, they slide in just like any typical drawer. The smaller inner drawer goes on the top slides, and then the larger outer drawer goes on the bottom slides. These tabs that you see are where the shelf sits. There's 4 along the back, and then there's corresponding tabs on this edge on either side of the door. You just put the shelf in, rest it on those tabs, and it's good to go. If any of these tabs are bent from shipping, you can take a flathead screwdriver and just pry them out a little bit. It works totally fine. The cabinet comes with a total of 3 shelves. They all install the same way, but the bottom one has to be installed there. You don't have a choice. The other 2 you can pick along those tabs where you want to put them. Now it's time to install the doors. I and J are the doors. There's arrows so you know which orientation to put it. I is the one on the left, J is the one on the right. That's the door with the lock. Each door has 2 pins, one on top, one on bottom. They're spring loaded, you pull them down, and they interface with the cabinet. They install that easy. And here it is completed. A lot of the features are apparent when you're assembling it, but I'll still touch on them real quick. A lockable door, which opens up to 2 adjustable shelves. There are a lot of tabs in the back so you can pick the shelf location, along with 2 grommets in the back to feed a cord through so you can keep your battery chargers in the cabinet. The back panels and doors have holes in them so you can add some pegboard style accessories, which I think is an awesome feature. It sets this cabinet apart from the competition, and it makes use of an otherwise blank area of your cabinet. I think this cabinet will fit my needs well, but I'm glad I didn't pay full price for it. The fit and finish is a little off, and at the end of the day, most of these features are available at a lower price point. So unless you love the look of these Kobalt cabinets or got a great deal on it like I did, I wouldn't be rushing out to buy one. That being said, I could see this being a great single storage solution for someone that's tight on space or doesn't need multiple places to store everything that they own. The upper shelf area is great for various products and your battery chargers, and can be made even more useful by adding some pegboard accessories to the doors and back panels. The larger bottom drawer can hold some power tools, and the smaller inner drawer could hold hand tools. As for me, my current plan is to fill it with detailing supplies. It'll be much easier to see and access all of my car care products like this instead of shoved into totes. Leave a comment with how you've added some extra storage to your garage. Are you like me and you wait for clearance items, or do you have a much more cohesive theme that you've invested into? I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be sure to follow it up with what the cabinet looks like after some organization, but for now you can check out some of my other videos here. Thanks so much for watching.